Hello, and welcome to Ask Me About K-Pop, the essential guide for recent converts and seasoned fans alike. My name is Shannon, and I am joined, as always, by my best pal, Angelica. Angelica, how are you today?
I'm doing great today. How
Wonderful.
are you?
I'm fine. I had a great brunch, and I'm still riding high off of EXO being on the Olympics and all that stuff. It's all going great.
Yeah, 2 mimosas and an EXO. What
more could we ask
beautiful,
for?
sunny Sunday.
Yeah. Sneak behind the curtain. We record these on Sundays. Ooh.
Oh, oops, sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I mean, on this lovely Wednesday afternoon.
Wouldn't that be great if we just made them like right on the exact day and put them out? Anyway, I think before we got started on anything today that you wanted to address the audience about something that happened in the last episode.
Damn, I almost forgot about that actually.
But you would have been upset if you'd forgotten.
No, you're right. I have to I have to come clean. I don't know why I did this because I guess I just wasn't reading carefully. But anyway, our last episode was about companies, and I rattled off like a couple of net worths, and every single one that I mentioned was in Korean wons, and I had completely forgotten to take into account the exchange rate, which for the U.S. dollar or Korean won to the U.S. dollar is about 1,000 to 1. Mm-hmm. So that's a significant omission on my part. So if you listen to our previous episode, every time you hear me say billion, like I can't believe that they're billion-dollar companies, it's because they're not billion-dollar. Yeah, they're million-dollar companies. So just substitute in your brain the word million for billion every time you hear me say that. I mean, like $22 million company is nothing to scoff at. But it is a significant difference between billion and million.
I also want to take a little bit of responsibility for that because I was like crazy on my mind, out of my mind on cold medicine. And
I know.
I feel like I didn't hear you.
You weren't even listening to me while I was talking. I texted Shannon afterward when I listened to the episode and was like, why didn't you stop me?
And when I listened to the episode to edit it a few days later, it was like I had never heard that conversation before. So if
whatever.
We're bad. Sorry. We'll be better.
Please forgive me.
You're totally welcome to correct us. If we're ever straight up wrong about stuff, we will admit when we are straight up wrong about stuff. So no worries.
However, begrudgingly.
No,
I'm fully comfortable admitting that I've made like an absurd error, but whatever. $1 million is still a lot of money.
It's still a lot of money. It's not
more money than I'll ever have.
Ugh. All right. So today we're going to talk about music shows.
Hooray!
Which are a huge part of the K-pop world. They're very important as to like what, a lot of the K-pop that you get to consume comes from music shows, how we decide who's popular and who's worth anything. A lot of it gets decided by music shows.
Yeah, they're hugely influential in the popularity and like promotion of artists themselves, but they're also hugely influential in the promotion of the Korean wave, like which we have explained in our previous episodes. It's hugely influential in like getting the word of K-pop out there at all.
Yeah.
In the way that like we've equated some of these music shows to like how TRL Once Upon a Time was like an integral part of the American pop music scene.
Right.
But these shows, there are multiples of them, and they continue to play an important role.
Cool. So before we get into the different music shows, because they are on like most nights of the week on many channels, and there's a little bit of like variation and difference between a lot of these music shows, I guess the general premise that happens throughout all of them is that this is a weekly showcase of currently promoting K-pop acts. So this includes debut stages, which we brought up in a very early episode, like the first time a group goes on TV, they debut on a music show. And then the other, we haven't had a vocabulary word in a while, so vocabulary word, comeback stage. A comeback stage is when an established group who's already made a debut has a new album out, And the first time they go on stage to perform their new single from their new album is called a comeback stage. So there's debut stages and comeback stages, as well as like once you do a comeback stage, depending on how you're doing in the charts and what your company wants for you, you will probably keep going on music shows for 2 to 3 weeks after that comeback stage, doing that same single.
Or like
continuing to
the
promote.
secondary single.
Right.
Like sometimes comeback stages will feature sort of like an A side and a B side, like the title track, and then also like some other number that is going to be very popular. But that's a sort of a very big difference between the way that the Korean music is marketed than the American music. Like we use comebacks to be like, oh, Janet Jackson is coming back or
After
whatever.
20 years. But you
Right.
can have 2 comebacks in a year if you're like
Absolutely.
a group
So
that's
the
working.
comeback is just the idea of like we're coming back with a new album, even if our previous album was only 4 months ago. Like here's something else.
So while it does seem to imply a long time, that's almost never the case. As well, so we have debut stages, comeback stages, people performing, and then sometimes for variations of reasons there will be a special stage.
Yeah.
Maybe someone's singing a song from a drama that's out right now, or it's been 5 years since this song came out, so the group's going to do it again. Whatever.
Or they do a collaboration or whatever.
And almost all of these shows are filmed on an interesting basis of a mix of live and pre-recorded stuff. Like the show is aired live, and what they will do is like play three performances they recorded this afternoon, and then one group will go on live. So that it is technically a live show, but most of the performances were recorded like earlier in that day.
And I know one of the reasons, I mean, I'm sure they have a variety of reasons for pre-recording a few of the acts ahead of time, but one reason I know is because it's all promotional, really. They like to fill the audience with fans of that group. And so one thing that they like need when they're doing these performances is they need time to like get that one fan group out so that the other fan group can come in or whatever. They need time to like set up the stage and the audience.
the stage sets as well. A running theme of music shows, at least in this modern day, is like very busy LED screens. Sometimes it's really hard to watch music show performances in HD because there's too much computer stuff happening in the background, and it just like upsets the video quality. But like, especially for comeback stages, if, you know, the group has some sort of crazy theme to this comeback, they might build up the stage with a bunch of, you know, set to go along with that. So that also is why it needs to be pre-recorded so that they can get the like cool stage set up for everybody. And another factor in most music shows is some kind of awarding system.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about how all of these are different, but most award shows have like a trophy and somebody wins for the week.
Well, you just called them award shows.
Oh,
most music shows have
awards.
Yeah.
Yes. One more thing I wanted to like mention really quick before we get into the individual shows and how they all differ, is like a politicky sort of thing about music shows, is, as we said, since this is half live and half pre-recorded, on music shows days, like groups show up to the TV studio and then they stay there for like all day, because even if you pre-recorded your segment, say at noon, you need to be on stage for the live award thing at 7.
Right, because when they present the award,
That part's live.
That part is live, and all of the artists that were featured in that week's episode are present on the stage. So if you record your segment at noon, you still have to be there at like 8 o'clock when they actually air so that you can just stand on the stage.
So there's a lot of people like hanging around in waiting rooms. A lot of like reality and variety shows get shot in those waiting rooms because people got nothing to do. But a thing that happens always is newer groups that are there for comeback stages, or any group that's there for a comeback stage, it is expected of them that if there are any other groups performing that week that have existed in K-pop longer than them, that have seniority, they're sondaes, to this group, then that group needs to take one of their albums, one of their signed albums, and come into the group's dressing room and introduce themselves and be like, here's our album, like, please look after us. And it's like, it's a manners thing that is like expected of everyone. And sometimes it causes issue. Like I remember last time Girls' Generation was performing, Taeyeon like called everyone out on her Instagram because only one group had come by to like greet them with an album. And they were like, they've been around forever. So that's like,
yeah, I'm going to
really
be mentioning
okay.
Girls' Generation a lot because in the music shows that I looked up, and I'm going to be explaining, like, I also came up with, they've been around for a really long time. They're one of those like iconic groups that sort of created the K-pop that we know and love today. And they are, to this day, like, they're historic groups. Like, they have won so much that they're, they deserve respect.
Yeah. So that's a general music show premise. That's how they work. We got live performances. We got a little bit of awards. We got like some fun like backstage politics going on. Everybody needs to greet the seniors, and if they don't, then you're going to get called out on Instagram and everyone's going to hate you. Okay. So I think I'm going to start because I want to go in order through the week. So the first main channel music show is M Countdown, which comes on Thursday nights on the channel Mnet. So this show is hosted. They have an official host, which usually is like the host for a couple of years, plus a weekly guest that changes every week. And that's almost always like another idol group. Or another idol.
Not a whole group, but yeah, like a member or
Lizzie
two.
from After School did it all the time. So like, there you go. Some official hosts most of the official hosts on or a lot of the official hosts on M Countdown have been actors. Because I guess it's probably easier to like keep them neutral and make them be the hosts. But some idol hosts that had long runs on M Countdown are Tony On from Tony On from HOT. This is what I did last week. It's HOT, not hot. Honky from FT Island. And then Key from Shiny has been an M Countdown host for like 3 years. And then Bam Bam and Jin Young from GOT7 have been doing it recently. M Countdown has been on the air since 2004. So that's like
it's kind of a newer show.
Yeah. But that's a pretty long run. Let's see. Here's how. So the voting for the awards of M Countdown, is based on digital sale. This is current. All of these awards show like criteria change over the years as the like industry has changed and how people get their music has changed. But we have digital single sales, album sales, social media points like trending hashtags, preference points, which is like global fan votes through the internet. And then while it's broadcasting, people can text in, and that's like 10% extra of the voting. So yeah, they pick at the end of the episode, they'll show like at the very beginning, they'll be like, these are the 3 groups that you're voting for this week to win. And they bring everybody out on the stage, as we mentioned, and then they tally up the points. And then someone gets a trophy, and the trophy for M Countdown is like a cute little gold man with like little short, it looks like a pop figurine, but like a trophy, and he's gold, and he has like a M carved into his face.
So kind of like the Moon Man, like
but
VH1.
So much cuter because it's just like a little, and has a big head. So that's the cute M Countdown trophy. Some fun facts about M Countdown. It also airs live in China, Hong Kong, Japan, the Philippines, the US, Taiwan, Malaysia, and Singapore every Thursday night. The show is on all of those countries. So it's definitely a very international show. Another fun thing that M Countdown does, they have artists in the green rooms take selfies, and they post those on their website. A lot of like classic like EXO selfies that people love are like M Countdown selfies that they took specifically in the waiting room for that show.
Is it M Countdown or is it a different show that does the group reaction to their performance as well? Where like after the group performs, they'll go. I think it might actually be Music Bank. But there is a music, like speaking of things that happen backstage, there is a music show, one of them, that after the group performs, they'll go backstage into a little room and sit on a couch and watch the performance and like comment on it. And that's always good fun because they are usually a little bit teasing of each other and they're super cute.
No, they do their reactions on Music Core.
Oh, Music Core. Oh.
Which I'll get to in a minute. What else about M Countdown? If you want to find M Countdown stages, if you're looking for them, their YouTube channel is Mnet Kpop, Mnet space K-POP. Mnet Kpop, they upload everything every week, all separated by groups, so you can watch specific stages. Another really cool thing that M Countdown does that I love, they have a YouTube channel. The channel name is M2, just M2. Just 2 letters. And they upload special M Countdown videos, including one of the things they call the MPD fan cam, where they will have, it's like the cameras, the professional cameras that are in the studio will film an individual member of a group. So you can go on this YouTube channel and there will be like 7 videos of the same performance, just focusing on one person.
So that's like the concert fan cams that you can like only watch your guy the whole time.
Which is a thing we haven't gotten into before, but like
that's fun.
That's a thing. So but they do that officially in the room, so like they don't get taken down because it isn't someone secretly filming in the audience. They like did it on purpose. They've also been doing this new fun like relay dance thing in the last couple of months where they'll have a whole group like stand in a single line, and then they all like do a little bit of the dance and move out of the way, and then the other person like moves forward and they'll go through the whole dance, and it's like a vertical video for watching on your phone, and the quality of them is like it's so high quality. And then they did a thing with CLC last week that was like, who am I? And it was like they danced entirely in shadow. And then on a screen behind them, it was like putting up their like names and their birthdays and like pictures. So they do cool things on the M2 channel for M Countdown. So that's Thursday night, M Countdown. 2 of my favorite K-pop performances ever in the history of the world are M Countdown performances. And that is EXO doing Lucky One in their turquoise mermaid pants and the shiny prism performance that made us all dead.
Mino showing off that collarbone.
In that grandpa sweater.
I know.
Grandpa potato.
And he had like grandpa potato sweater with like ripped jeans and a plaid around his waist and a tie, which he's wearing as a scarf. And like, it just sounds bananas and he looks so fucking good.
Lord.
So
good. Okay. That's M Countdown. So that's Thursday. What comes on Friday? I think you have Friday.
I have Friday. It's Music Bank. From
Music
KBS.
Bank.
Yeah. So Music Bank is an interesting show. It has actually been around. It started out as a show called Top 10 Songs, which ran from 1981 to 1998. And then it became Music Bank. And they originally had like a chart format, which they took from the Top 10 Songs, like format of the show. But that was abandoned in 2001 amid controversy of some kind. And it became a request format. Then in 2005, they were at first like recorded for a little while, like all of it was pre-recorded. And then in 2007, they went back to live because they had amid controversy, like changed the date that they aired. And so when they aired on Sundays, it was all pre-recorded. And then they went back to Fridays and it was back to live. Anyway, once they went back to being live on Fridays in 2007, they became the format of the show became category-based charts. So kind of similar to what you were just explaining with M Countdown. Like these are songs that are ranked based on the digital music charts, the karaoke charts, viewers' choice, and also album sales. So those all make up a different percentage of the overall rating of the song. And Music Bank does not have voting. That's not a piece of the
Okay.
that's not a
so
factor
it's just
of
like
it.
literally like sales and YouTube
Yeah,
clicks
it's like
and stuff.
how well are they doing out there? Like most popular based solely on like promotional values. In 2010, it was broadcast in 54 countries, but now today it is broadcast in over 100 countries worldwide. So Music Bank is like widely acknowledged as like the purveyor of the Korean wave. Like they're the ones really getting it out there. So now, okay, so their K chart, what they're like, the chart that they use is based on, like I said, digital music charts, 50%. Album sales, they do viewers' choice charts, so they don't like have viewers vote, but they do take into account like the popularity based on the fans. And then they also do the number of times that that song or that artist has appeared on KBS. So that's a factor of it, is like the channel that the show's actually on. And they do a top 50 songs of the week. Numbers 21 to 50 are just listed on a marquee in the background. And then numbers 20 to 3 are featured by the hosts.
Yeah.
And then the hosts showcase the top 2 and announce the winner, which is the number 1. And the full score that you can achieve is 200,000 points. It's like more than any other show. And what's different about Music Bank from some of the other shows is that artists can win an unlimited amount of time.
Yes, I was going to bring that up. There's a term called Triple Crown.
Yes.
Which is when a show wins or when a group wins the show 3 weeks in a row and they retire it. And some M Countdown and Inkigayo like retire shows. What, like if someone wins
They retire
3 times,
songs,
they're
not
retired.
shows.
They can't win it anymore.
Right. Music Bank doesn't do that.
Right.
And so you can win an unlimited amount of times for the same song. They've had a variety of hosts. Like, I mean, this is a show that, again, has been around since like 1998. And so their hosts cycle through a whole bunch. It's usually a combination of idols and actors, typically 2 to 3 hosts at a time. Some notable hosts are Rain, Minho, a really popular combo, like popular based on fan reaction recently, was actor Park Bo-gum and Irene from Red Velvet.
Ooh, everyone loves him.
Well, they loved them together, apparently. They really
Okay.
loved them together. Currently, the 2 hosts are an actor named Lee So-won and a idol named Solbin, who's from the girl group La Boom. And another fun fact about Music Bank is that they actually have they do a world tour where every year a certain selection, like a random smattering of K-pop groups that have been featured on their show, go and they tour all around the world, and they play in multiple cities in Asia, Europe, Latin America, the Middle East, and North America. And their last tour had an audience of about 200,000. So they really get out there.
Yeah, I know they replayed Music Bank in the Philippines this weekend while the Olympics were on.
Awesome.
I almost got to, I almost is wrong because I was never going to get to go. But when they did Music Bank in LA like 4 years ago, I didn't live here yet and I had a wedding to go to that weekend.
And you were like considering.
But I thought about it. I was like, but I can, because the tickets were free.
Ugh.
Because it's a TV show. But I remember being happy I didn't go because Mino didn't come.
That's right.
Because he was hosting a different music show and had to stay back in Korea. So 4 members of Shiny
Because
came.
Shiny was going to be on it, but Mino wasn't going to be
Yeah.
there. I totally remember when that happened.
Yeah.
I remember
It
that.
was so long ago.
So Music Bank does, of course, carry all of their things on a YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is actually KBS Kpop, all one word, because that's the channel that Music Bank is on. And they have a lot of cool things because they have like special created playlists for like specific shows. Like you can watch all of the unit on this KBS show or KBS YouTube channel, but they also have a whole playlist called Spotted at Music Bank. And so those are like fun interviews with like random people who go to Music Bank. That's fun. There's one right here that's like being advertised, and I don't know who it is or what it's for, but the screen cap is literally just abs. So it's just like someone pulling their shirt up clearly outside. They also have like a best 10. So they do like every year like a best performances of, which is really fun. And then they have like special performances, and then of course just like the weekly Music Bank performances. So like everything you could ever want to anything revolving Music Bank, you can find at KBS Kpop.
Definitely. I feel like KBS, as far as the Korean channels, is the best one when it comes to like international fan needs. They have like 7 YouTube channels. They English subtitle all of their stuff themselves, and they leave it up forever.
Yeah.
Like, bless KBS.
They also have on their YouTube, I just have to bring it up because it's a show that Shannon and I love dearly, Immortal Song, which is an opportunity for different current K-pop artists to do their own rendition of like older iconic Korean songs. EXO's been on it many times and they're phenomenal. But so that's a really fun show that they have all of on their YouTube channel as well. Okay. Anyway, so I wrote down some like historic wins for Music Bank since
Great.
it's been around for so long. Most number 1 wins of all time is Girls' Generation with 42.
Holy crap.
42 number 1s. Big Bang is next with 27.
But 27 to 40.
Yeah, 42 to 27 is a pretty big difference. Right after Big Bang is EXO with 26, then Psy with 21, and then Super Junior and Twice are tied with 19 number 1 wins. Wow. So yeah, Girls' Generation really blew everybody out of the water. They're actually going to be in all 3 of these categories I'm about to list, because most awarded songs of all time on Music Bank are number 1, Psy, Gangnam Style. Number 2, Girls' Generation G. Number 3 is a song called One More Time by a group named Jewelry, which is a group I've never heard of before. I believe they're a girl group. But they could be a boy group for all I know.
No, they're girls.
Okay, that's what I assumed. Then number 4 is again Girls' Generation with their song Oh. And lastly, number 5 of most awarded Music Bank show of all time, or Music Bank song of all time, is the Wonder Girls' Tell Me. And
Tell me. Tell me.
Yep, that one. And then the highest scores, the 3 highest scores, which I found it interesting that like you can get 200,000 points. None of these 3 surpass 25,000 points. So weird that there's such a discrepancy. I don't fully get it. But anyway, highest score, number 1 is Psy, Gangnam Style.
There you go.
Number 2, Girls' Generation with O. And number 3, G-Dragon, Heartbreaker.
Wow.
So that's Music Bank.
That's awesome. Great. So that's Friday night. I have Saturday night here. Okay, great. So Saturday night is show music core. And I said it like that because there's an exclamation point after show. It's show music core. So that comes on Saturdays on MBC, not NBC. MBC. This had 8 previous similar music shows since 1989. They've had a bunch of different ones. The last one before Music Core was called Live Music Camp. And this show was on from 99 to 2005, and it was abruptly canceled in July 2005 when they had a segment called, "Is this song any good?" And they would have like a group play like a new song and the audience would decide if it was any good. So they invited a punk band named Rux, R-U-X, Rux, to perform on this segment of the show. And they decided to invite a whole bunch of their weird punk band friends to join them on this episode. And 2 unnamed guys in full clown face paint in the middle of the song came to the front of the stage, dropped their pants, and started jumping around. So there was dong on national television for about 2 seconds. They tried to cut to the audience, but it was way too late.
Oh, man.
And the show was canceled. The lead singer of Rux and those 2 guys were arrested for like public indecency. The guy in charge of Rux like ended up getting, because he was like, well, I didn't know they were going to do that.
Yeah.
Tried not to take any responsibility, but the show like quickly got canceled because it was the craziest thing that ever happened. I have a video of it. I don't know if it like is if we are the kind of podcast that should post that on our Twitter or not, or like I feel like I should show it to Angelica right now because I've seen it and she hasn't.
Show it to me, but also every single one of our episodes has an explicit label on it. So
That's
like
true.
if we did show something that had some penis in it, like whatever.
All right.
We just spent a whole episode talking about idols banging. Okay.
All right, I
right.
think I got the sound working. So now I'm going to bless you with this horrible punk rock wieners. Ready, set, go. There it is.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't believe they did that. They just zoom in on their heads. Look at those butts. Look at the butt.
And then this audience, this like sad audience.
Oh my God. This
They don't
audience
know what
is
to
so
think.
upset. They're speechless. Oh, that is
So that's what got
painful.
music camp canceled.
Rightfully so. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's
absurd.
insane.
That's
like I don't think of myself as like a prude, but like, come on, man, you don't do that all.
I know, but also like cameraman, you need to be a little quicker on the draw because I saw full like I could draw a picture of what I just
we just saw.
Like,
yeah, there was no mistaking any of it.
Because he's like jumping up and down in order to try to get his pants off. Like you had a full like 5 seconds in which the camera should have immediately swung away. Like,
all right. So music camp gets canceled in July of 2005, but don't worry. By October, they're back with Show Music Core. Show Music Core. So that has been on since 2005. This show is mostly hosted by idols as well. Idols that have had long hosting runs. Like I said, these change week to week depending on people's schedules and whatever. But hosts that were there for very long periods of time. Brian from the R&B duo Fly to the Sky. That's like a earlier group. K-pop group. He did that.
his name is Brian.
Brian. he's just credited as
Brian.
He's Brian. Tiffany, Taeyeon, and Sohyun from Girls' Generation, who also go by Tae-So. They're like a subgroup. They hosted a ton. Our Mino from SHINee was also a host for a couple of years. He left a little while ago. A way that you can tell a music core, if you ever see like a video or something of an idol hosting a show, you can tell it's music core if they are holding a microphone with a glittery cutout of their name on the front of it, written in English. In glitter.
Yeah.
That's what music core hosts look like.
It's my favorite. It's like they're wearing enormous name tags. It's so
Yeah,
cute.
so you know exactly who everyone is and you can never mistake anyone. Like their name is right there. Voting for Music Core is based on physical album and digital sales, YouTube views of music videos. The 3 choices each week are decided by a committee of 2,000 people. Each week they decide who gets to like who we're voting on. And then just recently they added in a voting from an NBC radio broadcast, which seems weird in 2017 to like put radio back in voting criteria. Like I didn't think people listened to the radio
Seems like
anymore.
a step backward.
And then live voting that happens in the studio. Let's see. The trophy for Music Core is like long and skinny and it looks like it's the words Music Core like written vertically in a little folding and then it has the logo at the top. We have the microphones with sparkly nameplates. If you want to see any videos of Music Core, their YouTube channel is MBC K-pop with no spaces. One of my favorite Music Core performances ever was SHINee's Symptoms performance, where Jinky has the Fargo hat on.
Fur hat on.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's super good.
That will be like my tombstone. Just a recording. Just that on loop forever. That's the cause of my death.
Music Core also like gave me one of my like greatest fangirl joys that I've ever had. A couple of years ago, my favorite member of SHINee and my favorite member of A-Pink hosted together, and
For quite a while.
It was just one time.
Oh, it was just one.
It was just one time.
I guess I've just seen every single moment of that
because because it was so important to me. I thought I was going to die. I like couldn't believe that they were standing next to each other and talking to each other
and being fucking precious
and cute
the entire time. They were just like adorably bantering back and forth. It was super cute.
So like the header image of my Tumblr has been like the two of them with their sparkly microphones forever because it was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. So that's Music Core. That's Saturday night. And then do we have a Sunday show?
Yes, Inkigayo is on Sunday. Before
Inkigayo.
I get to that, you just reminded me because you were describing the trophy. I did write down what the trophy of Music Bank looks like. And it's only notable because people often break it. It's pretty large. It's kind of like torso sized, but it's glass and it's clear and it has like a really tall triangle on a little teeny rectangular base. And the very top of it is like this glass crystal sphere. And the sphere apparently pops off really easily because it's on top of the triangle. IU broke it on stage when she received it. And then a member of 2NE1 broke it as soon as they got off the stage. So apparently it's fairly fragile. So, for those of you who win a Music Bank,
be careful
with it. Anyway, Inkigayo is on Sunday. That is on SBS. That show originally debuted in 1991, and between 1991 and 2003, it was like canceled and renamed and revamped, and pretty much all of the changes were because they kept going back and forth on what kind of chart system they wanted to use. For a long time, they had what they called a Take 7 and Mutizen Award, in which they would take the 7 most popular songs of the week, and whatever was named the most popular received the Mutizen Song Award. So it was like they only took I don't know why. They couldn't decide on whether or not that was the most appropriate system. In 2007, they started recording it live, and in 2012, they got rid of the Take 7 chart system altogether because they decided the company came out, or the channel came out and said that it was more important that K-pop was being recognized worldwide and that there was ultimately no meaning behind the ranking system, and what they really wanted to do, what the purpose of the show was for the fans to be able to enjoy the music. So they wanted to focus more on like special stages, and they promised more collaborations. And then the very next year in 2013, they said, just kidding, we're going to go back and we're going to introduce the Inkigayo chart instead. So they do still have a chart system. It is in collaboration with the Music Industry Association of Korea's Gaon chart, which is kind of equivalent to our Billboard music charts. It's based on album sales, digital and physical, as well as YouTube views. And it has live voting. It incorporates live voting as well. So they start out with this Gaon chart and that's how they get their top 50 songs for viewers to vote on. The top 3 of those votes become the first place nominees, and then it becomes live voting during the show. The top 3 are like combined scores of the previous online voting and also the album sale charts. And then so the live voting picks a top artist of the week from those top 3, but they do have, like we mentioned earlier, they do have the triple crown. So once a song or an artist wins 3 times, they can no longer win on Inkigayo. The award for Inkigayo is fairly small. It's significantly smaller than some of the other ones that we've seen. And it's really weird looking. It's like this tall, it's like this longish black rectangle with like a cutout in the corner that has a clear diamond on it. It's really strange looking, and it's like very plain, and it's always written in English. It says like Inkigayo, and then it says the artist's name, but it's all in English, which is interesting. They've had a ton of different hosts, some notable hosts. It's usually idols. Heechul from Super Junior was a host of it for a very long time. 2PM's Taecyeon and Wooyoung were hosts for quite a while. FX's Sully was on it. Jackson from GOT7, IU's a solo artist. Kim Min-sok from EXO was a host as well. Currently, the hosts are Mingyu from 17, Chaeyeon from Daya and IOI, and Song Kang, who is an actor. And a controversy that I was able to discover about Inkigayo was on January 29th of 2012, Ryu Hwa Young, formerly of Tiara, when she was still in Tiara, she had a wardrobe malfunction during her live solo stage and exposed her breast live on stage.
Oh no.
And it was like
this is worse than the punk thing.
Oh, it was totally worse because she was a minor when it happened.
Oh no.
Yeah. So it was like horrible, and the company immediately came, like her company and also the production company of the show itself, like immediately came out because of course there were like screen caps and GIFs and photos and all these things circulated, and they, to their credit, like came out and said the most important thing that you remember before you think of her as a celebrity is that she is a minor, so please remember that she is a young girl. Like, stop fucking circulating these
Oh my God.
pictures.
She's
of her
the
slip.
girl from Hello My 20s. She's the prostitute from Hello My 20s.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Wow. That's crazy. I didn't realize that girl was an idol. Hello My 20s is a drama that Shannon
on
and I have
Netflix.
watched. It's on Netflix. It is a drama that Shannon and I watched and fully enjoyed. And she, strangely enough, plays a prostitute on it. That's not a spoiler. It's like revealed in the first episode. But weird that
she went from like poor minor wardrobe malfunction to like actress playing a prostitute on stuff. Fun.
Anyway, so I wrote down some historic wins for Inkigayo. Their most Triple Crown awards ever, with a total of 8, is Big Bang. Next, tied with 6, is GOD and Twice. And then tied with 5 is TVXQ and Girls' Generation. So they have won a Triple Crown 5 times, or 5 to 8 times, which means that that song is won 3 times 8 times 6 times 5.
Wow.
Do the math. Highest scores of all time. This is a group we mentioned during our concept album, is Troublemaker with their song Now. The second highest score is Beast with the song Good Luck. Then Big Bang with a song Let's Not Fall in Love. Number 4 is EXO with Monster. And number 5 is Girls' Generation with their song Mr. Mister.
Wow.
Yeah, Girls' Generation is going to be in every list that I mentioned.
Yeah.
They're powerhouses.
They were great. Okay, cool.
Oh, and YouTube, SBS, Inkigayo, they do have every performance, of course. They also have like special stages, which is fun. They are very organized in their YouTube channel, which is nice because they have their first is like, check out the lineup this week. And they have everything that's going to play this week. Then they have specifically comeback specials that are recent, specifically debut stages. Then they do all their special stages if they have whatever collaboration, special fun performances. And then they do the most viewed of all time, which is cool because they have some things on here. One of them is Troublemaker up there. And they also have, which Shannon, I'm just going to show you the screen grab of Girls' Day because it looks very inappropriate.
Oh my.
It's a girl in like a nude
She has like
bodysuit.
flesh-colored outfit on and she's like crawling in smoke.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
Of course, the top 2
That's the
most
most
viewed are
viewed,
like the
'cause it's gross.
sexiest, like upsetting videos. But anyway, again, their YouTube channel is called SBS space Inkigayo, INKIGAYO. And they have everything you'd ever want to watch from their show.
Amazing. So those are the 4 main music shows that come on the like regular non-cable channels. But there are other shows that come on deeper in the cable package on other nights of the week that we'll talk about for just a quick second. On Tuesday nights, SBS MTV, they have a show called The Show. That's it. That's just called The Show. It's been airing since 2011. It's only ever been hosted by idols. The list is like 20 plus names long, so I didn't feel like pulling out anybody, but this is an idol hosted show. Voting is like digital music video, album sales, some live voting, pretty standard stuff. The show, I feel like, is one of the music shows. The 4 that we mentioned before are like the ones that everybody worth their salt is going to promote on if they're having a comeback. Like, you go on those 4 shows. Mm-hmm. The show and the one that I will have Angelica do after this are kind of like not everybody shows up to them all the time.
Yeah, maybe you won't get the biggest names on these shows, but like smaller.
But maybe you will if
pop
they're
on
if the
for
company's
sure.
like really trying to get them out there. So it happens. The show is a thing. They do have an official YouTube, but it has not been updated in 4 years. So I feel like any videos I could find of performances from the show were uploaded by fans on random YouTube channels. So that's Tuesday night, and then something comes on Wednesday. Yes.
Yes, MBC again has another show called Show Champion, and that airs on Wednesdays. It started in February of 2012, which aims for the purpose of this show is to have the MCs, the artists, and the audience be the ones who select the champion of the music industry for that week. And so they have 3 different categories: most popular song, hottest issue, which I don't really know what that means, and then best rookie of the week. So every week they pick like the best of those categories. And they have changed it in a couple different ways of like how they calculate it, but currently it's based on digital sales, album sales. 20% of it is voting, so like voting from fans. They do have some of like the previous voting, and then they have live voting as well. And they have a panel of expert and professional judges that also weigh in and like pick who their favorites or who they think is the best. They have an enormous trophy. It's the only one I saw that actually looks like a typical trophy.
Oh, is
It's
that the big gold handled
it's the
one?
big gold cup that has like crazy winged handles, and it is actually the size of everyone's torso. It's so big. But they have 2 sets because their show is kind of a combination of a variety and a music program, because they have interviews and they have performances. So they have 2 different sets. 2013 is when they started filming it live, and in 2015 is when they started introducing the idea of a triple crown. So the first couple years, they didn't have a cap to how many times you could win. Now they do. Since 2005, they've had the same host, comedian Kim Shin-young, since July of 2015. And so it's just him and then like different guest MCs. I didn't write any of them down because there's just been so many of them.
By the way, Kim Shin-young is a lady.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It is her and a variety of different musical guests. So I wrote down again some historic wins of historic value. Most champion songs of all time is EXO. They have had 16 different songs that have won champion of the week. Second place is SHINee with 10 songs.
This is a good show. They have good taste.
I know. And then third, you're going to continue to think this because third is Red Velvet.
Oh my
with 8.
God. Did SM make this show for themselves?
Maybe.
Probably.
Because their top 3 is EXO, SHINee, and Red Velvet. And then number 4 is actually tied. CN Blue, 4 Minute, Infinite, and 17 have all had 7 champion songs. So like 7 different songs of theirs have won the champion different weeks. Longest consecutive champion song of all time you will appreciate is SHINee, Dream Girl.
Wow.
Yeah. They won before they introduced the Triple Crown, so they won a whole bunch of times. And then since then, it's been everything from Girls' Generation TTS, which you just mentioned, Super Junior, CN Blue, EXO, B1A4, G-Friend, 101, 4 Minute. They've all had 3 different. They've all had like triple crowns 3 times. And this show, I guess because it's like a smaller show, their YouTube channel is interesting. Their YouTube channel is called All the K-Pop. Like 3 separate words, All the K-Pop. K-pop has a hyphen in it. And they're currently live. I don't know what they're doing, but they're currently live. So they do like different fun things interacting on the YouTube channel itself. But they have Weekly Idol. So like their YouTube channel includes different clips from Weekly Idol. It includes all the performances from Show Champion. It also has like right now there's a whole playlist called GOT7 Working Eat Holiday in Jeju. So like some fun show featuring GOT7. They have a whole thing that's like translated. And then they have all the K-pop for specific groups. I don't know why. They have like a whole playlist that's just ATK twice, ATK BTS. I don't know what that's about.
Just to keep it all separated, I guess, if you want to just watch Twice videos or
and
whatever?
they also give out all the K-pop awards. So they give like their own little like best performances of whatever. And then they do, like we were mentioning, close-ups, vertical videos for each member that performs on the show. So a bunch of different, things to fangirl over.
Cool.
On
I
all the K-pop.
just to show you and not the audience at home, but like I just pulled it up and they are playing Show Champion live on their YouTube channel right now.
Ah, okay. So it's just the show.
Yeah.
Who is that?
Reind.
Never
I don't
heard
know.
of them.
That's what they're called.
Some little boy group.
Yeah. Cool. So that's like most of the music shows. Another two I was going to mention real quick before we wrap up. If you are living in an English speaking country and you have a massive cable package, you probably have access to a channel called Arirang, Arirang, Arirang. And that is a Korean channel that is broadcast entirely in English. And they have two music shows, Pops and Soul and Simply K-Pop. Again, these shows don't often get like the biggest of groups. Sometimes they do. But if you have DirecTV, you probably have this channel. So that's something to look out for and maybe watch sometime.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that's music shows. They're really fun. I feel like some of the funnest moments on music shows for fans happen at the end, at the award ceremony part, because everybody's on the stage together.
Yeah. And there's really cute moments on the stage. Like I know that we have a couple of different, there's one that I remember, when Taemin from SHINee was promoting, I think it was Press Your Number, but maybe it was
Danger.
No, I think it was Press Your Number, actually. So Taemin does a lot of solo albums, and one of his was called Press Your Number, and the girls from G-Friend, one of them was a really big Taemin fan, and so like a couple of the members of the group had learned the dance, I guess just like for fun on their own. And so at the end, he won, and so everyone was on stage, and usually what happens is like when the person wins, then their song, they do like an encore performance,
stage.
but it's a really casual performance. Like they're holding the trophy, they're goofing around. They might not necessarily be like
and
dancing
when
it
groups
full out.
if someone's like as you mentioned on your list, when people are like winning stuff over and over and over again, like SHINee for sure used to do this and would try to turn the encore stage into like a game. Like if we win again, like this time we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
Like just to like fill the weird funny time while the credits roll over the top.
And
of the
usually
screen.
they invite like, let's say for example, that two SM artists are on the stage of a certain show and one of them wins, the other SM artist will stay on the stage like with them during the encore stage. But the Taemin story I was telling is really adorable because he sort of like starts singing Press Your Number for this encore stage and then notices out of the corner of his eye like one of the G-Friend girls doing it and like brings her to the middle and tries to like get her to do it with them, and most of them are too shy, but it's really sweet because like she's trying so hard and she's clearly freaking out because she's such a fan herself, and it's really adorable.
Yeah, and like in like we talked in our Fun Valentine's Day episode, oftentimes these encore performances come back up when relationships get outed or suspected because everyone's on the stage at the same time and they're like, look, they're looking at each other like, look, he stopped and he like touched her shoulder as they were walking out.
They're standing next to each other the whole time.
Yeah, all of that fun stuff.
Look, he passed her a piece of confetti. It has a note on it.
But there is that like Keistel one where she's like, attention, boys. And she like looks him up and down.
Because look at him. Attention indeed.
Indeed. All right. Awesome. So that's music. That's everything that you need to know about Korean music shows. And we will be right back in one moment with our fun Kpop Random Game.
Woo! That one special kiss.
All right, gang, we are back. And our very randomly picked group from this week is called Top Secret.
Top Secret.
They debuted on January 1st, 2017. So this is a very new group.
They're brand spanking new. They're just little fresh babies.
We tried so hard to like find anything interesting about them, and like they're the only group under their company.
Yeah, there's literally one sentence in their Wikipedia page which just states when they debuted. But there's 7 members. They're a boy group, ages 20 to 23. We were pleased to find out because they looked very young. They are all adults. And they really only have 2 songs. It seems like some of the members used to be a part of a group called NOM or NOM. A few of them were on a show that we've mentioned before called The Unit, which is kind of for like idols who have nowhere else to go. So I don't know. We don't really, it doesn't appear like there's a lot of information out there because they are so fresh and new. But they have 2 songs out. One of them is called She. The other one is called Mind Control. They both came out last year. And the one with the most views was called She. So that's the one that we're going to watch.
And yeah, without much else to say about this group, let's react to a top secret.
I'll go ahead and say that the one I think is the cutest is named Ain or Ain. An. A-I-N.
Let's see if they have it. No, they don't have it written in Korean, so I can't tell you how to pronounce it.
He's cute. Well, it says Kim Ah-in.
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 Cute. Yeah, he's cute, and he's the leader. And he's
apparently he used to be a dance teacher, and his key skill is choreography.
Okay, here we go. Top secret. She. I'm pressing play right now. Okay, they're wearing the same outfits that EXO wore at the Olympics things, like white jackets with piping.
They do appear to be in school uniforms.
Yeah, they're on like a
Ooh, I'm into this
court.
Though.
Yeah.
Ooh, got one actually playing the guitar.
Oh, and he has a piano app on his iPad. That's fun. This is fun. Like, it seems kind of CN Bluish, but they're like dancing.
Yeah, I kind of like it. It's sort of a weird mix of K-rock and K-pop. The dancing's cute.
Yeah. It's like snowing on them as well, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, even though it's like a beautiful sunny day.
Oh, there's a girl.
Yeah, but they're doing that thing I hate where they only have the one girl for all of the members. It's really disco-y. I like it. I'm into
it's dancey and fun.
They're pretty precious.
Oh, now they're actually acting like a band.
Here we go.
They have instruments.
Yeah, he's hot. I wonder if all of them actually play those instruments or if this is just a facade for the music video.
I'm curious.
Oh my god, adorable. One of them just put lipstick on, the one I think is cute, and then kissed one of the other ones.
Yeah, but the one wearing the I hate the hats. The hats with the tags or the fake braids or like hats with things hanging off of
that
them.
one at least doesn't have fake braids. It's just a tag. I mean, that's an old school trend though. Like that was like in the early 2000s you kept your I remember kids in high school keeping the tag
it's like
on.
the sticker on the brim.
No, but you also used to keep like the tag on your
yeah.
shoes to show how much you paid for it.
Fun. Oh, he got jewelry and he's putting it in a top secret box for the girl.
Top secret.
I really like
I
this
really
song.
like
I
it
might
too.
buy this later.
I kind of want to listen to their other song now.
We can't after the recording.
Yeah. Cute.
Wow.
Look at all those butts. Sorry,
top
but
secret.
you put them in white pants. I'm going to notice their butts.
Wow. Well, that was great.
That was fun. I liked it. I mean, it's a shame that we don't have more to say about them because they seem to be fresh and new.
But they're also like new enough that like we don't know. Like that could be it. Like we might never like.
That's true.
We might
We
never
might
see
never
Top
see
Secret
them
again.
again.
You never know.
I hope that's not true. That
'Cause
one
that
of them
fun.
was pretty.
And yes, definitely some pretties in there. So we wish you lots of luck, Top Secret.
Good luck, Top Secret. You gained 2 Nuna fans just now.
Yep, just now.
So we will continue to support you from LA.
Great. Do you, before we wrap up today, do you have a recommendation for
I
this
surely
week,
do.
Bianca?
I'm going to recommend another new group, actually. So it is fun and appropriate that we just picked a new one because I'm going to recommend a group which debuted earlier this year called Weki Meki, WEKI space MEKI.
Earlier last year. I have to.
Oh,
it's
I'm sorry.
2018 now. I know.
It's 2018. They debuted in 2017.
Yes, they are new.
Yes, with a song called I Don't Like Your Girlfriend. And it was like really fun. And their dancing is amazing. They just came back this week with a brand new song.
La la la.
Yeah, la la la. Thank you. For a moment, I like had a brain fart because I didn't write this down. I just was like, I'll
thinking
recommend that
about
one. Totally forgot the name of it. It's just called La La La, and it's awesome. And it's like just like we were talking about in our concept episode. It sort of has like a harder edge to it for a girl group. It's sassy. It's super hot, like fun, fast.
They're wearing school uniforms, but like they cut them up. Like
Yeah,
they
they're
took
like
the sleeves
sexy
off.
school uniforms. Like they're like they look like school uniforms out of The Craft or something. Like it's fun and fantastic, and they're so great. They're a group that I like instantly fell for. I don't know what it is about them, but like as soon as I saw I Don't Like Your Girlfriend, I immediately bought their EP. So I'm a big fan of Weki Meki, and their comeback stage is phenomenal. They're truly talented.
Yeah, in this episode, we talked about comeback stages, and you can get on YouTube right now and watch all the comeback stages for Weki Meki because it started this week.
Yeah,
So there's one
they're
out
brand
for every
spanking
show.
new. You can be right on top of this shit.
That's awesome. My recommendation on the same back of that, because like 2018 has already started out amazing for girl groups. I'm calling it right now. This is the year of girl groups. Like I'm down.
Watch you jinx that.
I know I probably shouldn't have.
Knock
said.
on all the wood.
Oh no. But CLC, who we brought up in our concept episode as like trying a hard edge and then going back to the meadow.
backtracking.
Well, they learned their lesson and they put out a new single this week called Black Dress. And it is awesome. And I love it. It's definitely like sexier, a little more grown up, but also kind of scary. There's like a really amazing moment in the music video where one of the girls like cuts her own hair off.
Yes, and girl, that haircut
And then
that
she, like,
debuts
appears.
with is fierce.
It's so great.
She looks so great.
Yeah. So you can also watch all of the CLC Black Dress comeback tours
And
or
I
comeback
will,
stages.
I will make a note because when I first started watching the video, I was like, well, why aren't they wearing black dresses? But it's sort of a translation issue where it's like they're talking more about dressing in black, not wearing a black dress. So in their performances, they're not wearing black dresses.
They all have shorts on.
Or like suits. Like some of them are
Yeah.
wearing like suits, which again is a concept I love. Girls in suits, groups in suits. So yeah, just so you know, they're not talking about like pulling out that little black dress. They're talking about like dressing in black. Don't fuck with us.
Yeah. So CLC Black Dress and Weki Meki La 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 are two amazing girl group songs that came out very recently. So that's what we recommend this week.
Yeah, check them out.
Fantastic. So that's all for this week. As always, you can find us at AMA Kpop Pod on Twitter, AMA Kpop Pod on Instagram, AMA Kpop amakpod.tumblr.com for all the links to everything we talk about every week. If you want to send us an email, we are amakpoppod@gmail.com, and we would love to hear from you. Thank you so much, as always, to our amazing listeners who have been like tweeting and Instagramming at us. Y'all are all like incredibly sweet, and we're so lucky to have people listening to this like all over the damn world.
And on that note, our lovely listeners, we are still wanting to do an episode that's all about biases, meaning like we want to know who people's crushes are. And Shannon and I have a lot of overlap in our bias. So please send us your bias. Who do you think is cute? Girl group, guy group, it doesn't matter. Solo artist, like any members that you know their names, you love their face.
Who flutters your heart?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just going to say, girl. Who flutters your heart? Please tweet at us, email us, leave us a comment on our Instagram. We want to compile a bunch of different people to talk about.
So you don't have
in
to
this
listen
episode.
to us talk about Mino for an hour.
And Chanyeol.
Yeah.
I'll
Sure.
talk about him a lot.
But yeah, we share things, so it will get boring. So tell us about who you love.
It'll get boring for you. We could talk about those boys all day.
That's true. We could, but we're trying to think of you, the listener.
So help us out and send us your crush.
Great. Amazing. Next week, we will be back with part 1 of a special 2-part K-pop fan deep dive into all that goes into being a K-pop fan and how people categorize themselves and all that stuff. And it'll be really fun. So see you next Wednesday. We'll talk to y'all later.
Bye.
Chonghyun, your inspiration.